Hi there, welcome to our channel. I'm Vic.
I'm Nick.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Andrew.
And we are NV Board Gaming. And today we're continuing our top 100 and top 50 for Sam and I games of all time. This is the moment everyone's been waiting for. If you have been watching our top 100 slash top 50 and you've been enjoying those videos, please go ahead, click the like button on this video. It really helps expand our reach and brings our videos to a bigger audience so more people can enjoy and give their opinions about the games that they like. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We obviously play a lot of games here. We're counting down 150 for us. I think we could do 100 though next time.
Yeah, we probably could.
Her and I could do that.
Easy.
But you know, we really are well versed in our games, and we love to talk, discuss games. Let us know in the comments if you feel strongly about any of our selections that we're going to go through here. And yeah, I guess we'll start with
give us all your hate. So let's go with bold predictions. Anyone got any bold predictions?
I do. I think I know Nick the best. Well, other than Samantha, obviously. I know Nick better than Sam. But I'm gonna say we're gonna have at least 2 crossovers, and that's not a bold prediction. I think 2 out of our top 3 is gonna cross over. I'm gonna go between me and Nick.
Whoa. Okay.
It's a long shot, but I'm gonna go for it. I hope I don't ruin it.
Look at my top.
You might ruin mine.
Yeah. Anyone else?
No, I don't think so.
All right, I got one. Bruno Cathala, if you've watched our channel at all, is the favorite designer of Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be the only person at this table that doesn't have, I can't include myself, I can't spoil my own list. He'll be the only person at this table not to have a Bruno Cathala game in his top 10. Her and her both will. That's my bold prediction. I don't know if it's right, but I just feel like it is. So we decided I'm going to get it started with my number 10. It has been mentioned by one person so far. It is a worker placement game that goes through seasons. It is by Jamie Stegmaier, and it is Viticulture. Viticulture, and again, you have to have the Tuscany expansion and all that. You got to have it, because without the expansions, it is probably a 6.5. It's not even that good. Mm-hmm. It's not really that good. I wouldn't even recommend it. With Tuscany and what's it called? The Essential Edition.
Yes.
With that, now we're cooking, because that is an awesome worker placement game. I love the way the seasons work. The card play is superb. Mm-hmm. It is very card driven. You're getting the cards from the orders. You're getting the cards from the plants. You're getting visitors, winter, summer. And it's really unique. And you can get expansions for more visitors. The Rhine Valley as well. I have all that. Everything is good about this game. If you like worker placement, it has to be in your collection, and don't just stop at Viticulture, because you'll just be disappointed, really, because it's not nearly as good. It adds so much more. The board is so much more, so many more options. You get structures even. You can build different things as opposed to just the standard things on your board. Viticulture is amazing. It's my number 10.
Yeah, it's my number 10 too.
Oh, there it is. Starts already.
There you go.
Viticulture Essential Edition. I am a wino. I like the theme. I thought it's so fun to move those little clear grapes. I love it. It's nice. It's a nice textile experience for me, sensory experience. Yeah. Moving those over, combining them. Oh, am I going to make a blush? And, you know, sometimes you give into peer pressure and you make a wine because you think, like, I'm going to make this wine and maybe then I'll get an order for it. But then crazy stuff can happen when you're trying to fulfill wine orders. And we always have a good time. I don't win as much as he does when we play it. I noticed that but I am content with the experience alone. So that's my number 10.
I went through all your guys' videos before we were part of it, and I was trying to just think, what's going to be on their top 10 list before we did this? And I saw Vic gave this a 10, and I was like, if this is not in her top 10, I am going to be just living.
He did. He literally said, too, it's going to be your number 10.
Wow.
Oh,
he literally,
buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, for real. All right, so my number 10 is Century New World. I love this game. Century Spice Road, when I first played it, it was one of the first games I played because he was like, all right, got to keep it simple for her. But I like Century Spice Road, but when this came out, I just thought, I'm like, this is just so much better. I love the fact that it's a worker placement game. I love that you have, different, just so much more to it than Century Spice Road, than just exchanging cubes and different things like that. So I liked kind of the theme of it too, you know, kind of like the Indians and different, having like different artifacts and things like that. So I am always a fan of Century Spice Road, but I feel like Century New World is just so much better. So that's my number 10.
Did you eliminate the other one based on you just want to pick one of them?
Oh, yeah.
So the other one would have made it? Had you not? Or
no, I don't think so.
It would have been top 50?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Century Eastern Wonders, you mean? Is that the one you're talking about? The other...
Or Century
Spice Road. I was thinking Century
yeah.
Spice Road. I wrote that in her top 10 because I didn't know she liked the other ones better.
Right.
Yeah.
I wrote that.
Century Eastern Wonders is garbage. No.
The Eastern Wonders, yeah, I do not like it at all. Like, no, not at all.
All right. So my number 10, I am so excited about this list because all 10 of these games. My number 10 is probably from one of, in my opinion, one of the hottest designers coming out this year. Last year he did phenomenal, and that's John D. Clare, and my number 10 is Spacebase. Oh man, I love this game. I love everything that's come out for it. They have another saga coming out for it this year. John D. Clare is on fire with Dead Reckoning, with Cupidos last year. Everything he touches, for me, turns to gold with this guy. So he is easily becoming one of my favorite designers. And so Spacebase, I just love the building of your engine with the different numbers and trying to play off of one another. I love the different stuff that the sagas add in with the little mini dice. If you haven't played in the expansions, I highly recommend them because they just add more good stuff to it. So I really love this game, and every time I play it, I'm always excited to play it again and again and again. And I expect this one to stay in my top 10, even though it's my number 10. I like it that much. It's super solid.
Nice. Mm-hmm. All right, we're moving to number 9. Number 9 for me is, I would say, a little bit of an upset because it is super dry. Don't hear it talked about very much, but the card play in this one as well is phenomenal. You can use it for 4 different actions. You might know what it is. Yep, La Granja. La Granja is a magnificent game. I love the way you're using the cards. You can use it to do orders on the top. You can use it to increase your den and different point income at the right. You can use it for fields at the left. You can use it for abilities at the bottom. Wow. And you get a big stack of those cards. It's so awesome. But it looks so bad. So it drops a couple spots because of that. But Kickstarter is coming out this month, I believe. This is January that we're filming this of 2022. And I'm all in. Whatever that is, give me that, because I am ditching my old one. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with this phenomenal game. If they make it look so much better, this could easily be a top 5 game, and I love La Granja.
I was hoping to say that looks don't really matter to you, and that, if things are good other ways, then those
still be top 10.
Those qualities can be redeemed. But he's looking for something that looks better. All right. He's always on the prowl. That's a good game, though. So number 9 for me is a game that, I talk about the theme often when we play games. I talk about dinosaurs and how much I enjoy dinosaurs. And I know it's a bit of a trend. I've got a dinosaur on me. I just love dinosaurs. This game is the OG dinosaur game for me. A game that I was surprised by from Nick. It's Dinosaur Island with the Totally Liquid expansion. I really enjoy it. It does take the cake over Dinosaur World for me. I just enjoy it a little more, even though I back Dinosaur World and it's the newer of the two. Dinosaur Island is just so fun. I love the way that everything is staged out. It seemed really streamlined to me, and I'm very familiar with the game, and I can play it anytime. Really do enjoy Dinosaur
Yes,
Island.
you do. Good call.
All right, so my number 9 is Trekking the World. I don't know. I played this game and I really enjoyed it. It's a great game. I love that you're going across the world, but you're collecting souvenirs. The artwork is also beautiful. I feel like the cards are just, they look nice, and they're the actual cities, and so it's a fun game. I like Trekking the World. And I feel like it's a game that you can also play with people that don't play a lot of games, because it is easy to teach, it's easy to play. And it's just fun. So, yep, Trekking the World, number 9 for me.
Yeah, Ticket to Ride's better. But yeah.
No, it's not. No. I knew he was going to say that. I was waiting for it.
Ticket to Ride was like your number 90 or so, right? Something like that. And you're saying that's better.
I thought back to the video we did of trekking, and I'm like, yep, he mentioned it, and we were going back and forth.
Haven't played that one. We played trekking the national parks.
Yeah.
We haven't tried the other one.
Yeah.
Sam says it's amazing. Number 9 game of all time. Sam,
Time.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know. My number 9 is Stonemaier game, and that is Wingspan. Wingspan, I really like this game. I really like the expansions that come out with it. Have just added so much more. I just love games that just have more and more content coming out, and I think that's showing already in my first two picks. And so everything about it, I love the different birds, the art that's on the birds, the different actions, the different abilities that come with them, the balance, trying to keep that food and getting out the eggs out there and caching different cards. There's just so much great layers and layers and layers to this game. I enjoy it every single time I play it. So I'm excited for the big box to come out because I'm looking forward to getting all of my stuff into one box finally without it being all stressed out. And so I'm excited that hopefully they keep coming out with more expansions with more birds. I mean, I don't know how many more birds we really need, but I would love to just take more birds. So, Beth Hargrave did a great job. Yeah, she did a great job in this game. I'm excited for more and more Wingspan. So yeah, my number 9.
And more birds.
More and more birds.
I want more birds. Better more birds. Stop.
More birds.
Yeah.
All right. Number 8. Numero ocho. Numero ocho for me is a game. Let's see if you guys can guess it. A big game that doesn't take very long. Beautiful game. It ramps up at the very end. Like every round before it, like every round after, as the game goes on, is better than the previous. Do you have an idea what that might be?
Teotihuacan?
No.
Was Title Blades already on your list?
Yeah. I've already done it. I'll throw a towel.
I'm not sure.
Okay. It is Lost Ruins of Arnak. It climbed this far.
Of course.
I was like, it's got to be on there. I didn't know.
Yeah, by the end, that's what won me over. When I'm in the last round and I'm triggering off so many things, the game just takes so much longer that last round because you can do so many things. So I can trade this for this. I'm like, this game is singing right now. This is climbing high because that last round is so good. Those last 2 rounds especially. So you're like, at first you're like lukewarm on it. Okay, got it. Round 3, 4, 5, phenomenal, just phenomenal, off the charts. That won me over so bad. These guys taught me the game, and I was okay with it. I like this. I think I like Dune better. Now that I've played it several more times, Lost Ruins is probably a little better. And that's why and Dune is a great game. I think it's my number 20. I love Dune. And somehow this managed to get better. And the only reason I'm comparing it, they were out at the same time. They're both worker placement, deck building. That's about it. So I always compare those two, and a lot of people do.
Right.
Lost Ruins is a fantastic game, and I'm really surprised that I have it higher than Andrew, because I thought this would be a top 10.
I had this on my list of games that I thought would end up on your top 10 because I was telling her, I was like, we taught it to him, and then he went out and bought it like right away, and I was like, I think he really, really likes it, and I was like, I knew it was high on Vic's list because it's your number 11, right? And so I was like, I think it's up there.
It made it number 8.
Great pick. That's a great pick.
All right, number 8 for me is a game we have not played in a long while, and it's mainly because of the real estate that it does occupy. And when we do bust it out, we will play it for a few days on end. I always enjoy playing a cooperative game with Nick. I like working together with him to accomplish things, going through a dungeon, and then this game is Gloomhaven. I was able to get it from some site that I could have sworn was a scam. I don't know how, but we got it for like $80 or less, and nothing was wrong with it. I'm not sure what happened.
Stole it off the back of the van.
I think it was.
At that time, because that time it was.
They want to get rid of that.
Yeah, it was a hot Gloomhaven. Yeah. So we anyway we play it. I really enjoy it. We haven't played it in a long while, so I've been having an itch. Just when we have a time to have it out, I'd like to, please.
Let's do it.
I really have fun with it, and if you do play it, we always encourage using the app. It really took the experience up to a new level for us when we were playing it. Because at first I said, really? We have to track all these hit points. We have to remember what conditions. Not even worth it. Use the app, and it's a great experience, especially for couples, people that game groups that see each other often. if you're able to play multiple games, and it's challenging. You know, it's nice to get defeated, you know, and not always win.
Right.
So I always have fun playing with Nick.
All right, number 8 for me is Ankh, Gods of Egypt. I am a major fan of anything Egyptian themed, especially board games, but I have felt so disappointed with the Egyptian themed games that I've played this far until this game. And I just thought the look of it is amazing. I love that it's just this giant just board, but with these really intricate pieces. And I mean, each person is a different god. You each have your own powers. There is conflict in it. Obviously, you're fighting, and I still like that part of the game. I feel like that's part of, you know, being in Egypt and fighting each other and having all these, you know, different things that you can get. And so I was just blown away. I know we did a video of Ankh, and I won't go too much into it, but I just loved it. And I knew it was coming. He actually backed it. He was like, I'm backing this for you. I'm just letting you know. I'm backing this for you.
She liked Egypt, so I knew I was like, she'll let me pay for the deluxe.
The outrageous amount. I was like, oh, fine. So, but I also like that there was so many things that came with the Kickstarter version. You know, we got all the extra fun stuff, and so that was really neat. I think even if you don't have that stuff, it's still a solid game. So Ankh is number 8 for me.
Wow, I'm surprised that was so high. And that's a brand new game too. So that's awesome. Yeah, that's a good game.
I do love it.
All right, my number 8 is, I'll just jump right into it, is Quacks of Quedlinburg. I really like the push your luck aspect to this game. I love building that bag up and building different. Every single game can be different based on the recipes for the different ingredients you have, and I can build a completely different strategy from game to game based on those ingredients. I like the first expansion. Alchemists, take it or leave it, however you want. To me, it might just give a little bit too much for the game, but without that, even I think the game sings. I know it's a bit of a table hog with all the different ingredients and everything going on, but I really just like the depth of the game, even adding in the witches and that expansion. This game, I always have a great time. There's always that, oh, am I going to bust? Oh, am I going to bust? Oh, I made it. Okay. Or I get to predict we always had, like, when we played it, like the blue, where you get to kind of predict the future. You pull them out and pick one, and you can put the rest back or whatnot. And so Quacks of Quedlinburg, always a great one. I even 3D printed little crates to put the ingredients in and everything.
Those are nice. Yeah.
And so I need to get the actual upgraded bits from BGG, because that is a must. And I got the bags, but I need the actual upgraded pieces. But Quacks of Quedlinburg is my number 8. Such a great game.
Yeah, those pieces though are so bad. Oh my goodness, we played at a board game cafe in Vegas when we were there, and they were just like barely even read, like, is it a 1?
It's dated.
Yeah, they do fade. That's why I'm like, oh, I want the upgraded pieces, but they're like $40 or whatever.
The shipping too when you're Board Game Geek, so it's expensive. They do have sales though. I noticed they had a decent amount of sales that will pretty much negate the shipping at least, but it is rough buying those pieces.
Yeah, and they sell out so fast. It's so crazy how quickly they sell out.
Yeah. Everybody doesn't like those faded pieces. They're trying to figure out what values they have in there.
That'd be one game I'd probably upgrade first. Like if I own Quacks, I'd be like, I'm upgrading this one because this is
Yeah, for sure.
Get your greasy hands off there. It's fading.
Yeah, that's a game you do not want to play when you're eating pizza.
What game do you want to play? This is a pizza game.
That'd be so gross. Wash your hands.
Oh, I had somebody actually spill their drink on a copy of mine, and I was so mad. I was like, oh.
He was destroyed inside.
Yeah.
I was like, these pieces are already going to crap.
He's like dabbing it, like, come on.
Ouch. Alrighty, moving to number 7. Number 7 is, I'll just go with Andrew did. I'll jump right into it. Viscounts of the West Kingdom is my number 7. Beautiful, fantastic game. I cannot believe somebody designed that game. It's so clever. It is one of the most clever games I own. Just something about that. Like, who thought of this? And, like, are they on drugs? Because this the cleverness of this game, the way things are working, like who thought of that? Like it's so cool.
They were using performance enhancing drugs or
Mental,
something.
yeah.
I usually think that about a lot of games.
Yeah.
Like how did
How'd you piece it all
you
together?
did you take some acid before you created this game? I mean, like how do people do that?
All the things that are going on around the board. If you're building, you're going around the board and doing different things and the intersect. You're climbing this tower too, and you're doing all these
and
manuscripts.
Nothing's broken about it.
No,
Like,
it's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
What the?
What game is this? No.
Viscounts is so good. If you have not tried Viscounts, unless you just like the
Never heard of it. Never.
Viscounts of the West Kingdom, man. You got to try that one if you're. I would say it's medium to heavy. For me, of the ones that are out there, of the West Kingdom games, for me, I thought it was the hardest to teach. Some people say Paladins is harder. I think Viscounts is a little harder to teach.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. With Paladins, you kind of just put your meeples out. That's the action you can do. This is what it benefits. This is, and that's what it costs. And with West Kingdom or the Viscounts, there just feels like there's a lot going on. It's so crunchy and very good. So Viscounts is my number 7.
Well,
Back in the expansions right now on Kickstarter.
Yes,
Go
you
check
are.
it out. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Of course you are.
well, Nick, number 7, Viscounts of the
Wow.
West Kingdom.
Wow.
for
You did
me.
twice.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I didn't see his list. You know this if you've been watching any of our other ones. I did not see his list. And yeah, that's
I wrote it
kinda-
down as
I just
number
show
7
it.
for you, by the way.
I just show that I wrote it down that was it. Crazy. Really love the game. It's fluctuated because we did do a series about all 3 of the West Kingdom games. And I don't, off the top of my head, I think I put Viscounts ahead of Paladins and on the top of all of them. I'm pretty sure, or it was vice versa. But they kind of go between each other. Like, there's none that I really detest the most. I know that the one I like the least, but I still really like and put it in my top 50 was Architects. I like all 3 games. Really fun. I'm always down to play it. So
Cool.
yeah.
Wow, this is really weird. So my number 7 is Explorers of the North Sea.
I thought you were going to say Viscounts.
I was like, it's another Shem Phillips game.
Sure.
So yeah, Explorers of the North Sea. I really thoroughly enjoy this game. It has fallen a little bit since I've played other games, but it's been a game that I have always enjoyed playing. I love the tile placement. I love tile placement games anyway, but tile placement, you're going out and you have your little Vikings and you're going and you're going to settlements and you're picking up livestock in your boat, and it's just cute little, picking them up. That's one of my favorite things in the game. It's just to collect the livestock. But I think it's cute that you could put chickens in your boat and
Every
stuff
game,
like that.
that's all she goes for. I want all the chickens. I want all the pigs. All of them.
Nice.
True. I do other things, but it depends on like the person that you get too, like what's your objective. And so, but yeah, I love Explorers of the North Sea. Definitely a great game.
Such a good game. Very underrated if you haven't watched that list yet.
Yes.
Should go check that one out.
Yeah.
All right, my number 7, I'm excited about because there are also expansions coming from Kickstarter this year, and there is a flip and write that is coming out of this year. Do you know what it is? My number 7.
Flip and write?
There's a flip and write version of this game coming out this year.
What type of game is it right now?
It is if I say,
Okay, I think I'll let you guys.
It's a polyomino game, and that is
Isle
Isle of
of
Cats.
Oh.
Yes.
As soon as you said that.
I was about to say that. But
Yeah, I
did
have a sneaky suspicion this will end up on someone else's list. So,
Yeah.
but I really like this game. And I'm super excited about the flip and write. But I've played that, and that's super nice. But I really like this game. I really like the puzzly aspect of it. I like the polyomino placement and the public and private cards, the lesson cards that you're trying to go on after. Trying to hope and pray you get those Oshax cats and everything. And every time I play it, it's always intense at the end. It's got that turn angst that I really like. Like, please don't take that cat. I need that one cat in this area. Don't take it. And you've got to balance having those fish, and you're spending them for cards and catching cats.
Yeah.
I love that puzzly aspect and that give and take. Isle of Cats, number 7.
Cool. Number 6 may be a disappointment to Andrew for his prediction because it is actually Paladins of the West Kingdom. Number 6, he was banking on that one because he made a bold prediction. I like it just barely. Like, it's negligible, the difference between Paladins and
What's
Vikings.
negligible is this is number 6.
Oh man, Paladins, I love. We just got the expansion. I loved it. It grew on me. We only played it once. I mean, it grew on me during that exact game I'm playing. At first, I was lukewarm to it. Like, I'm not probably going to use it. Then I started using, like, you know what? These added great options. I really like what this is adding. I thought it was just, at first, I was like, maybe it's just adding for the sake of adding, and it's not really anything I'm going to use. I don't really care about the muster action. But then I started using them. I actually, I like these. These don't just feel like fillers. I feel like that's what my impression was at the beginning. This is filler. And it didn't turn out that way. So I'm super happy. This might even climb. I don't know. I'm really interested to see how our games, because this is our first list together, I'm really curious, and a year later, a year and a half later, whenever we do a list again, where is everything going to fall then?
Right.
I want to see the differences. I want to see what games are dropping, what's going up, what's hot. I want to see what games are added from 2021. We're going to have some great games coming out that I'm super excited about, and I want to see where those fall. So anyway, number 6, Paladins, a fantastic, I guess you can call it worker placement game. That's what you're doing, but you have your own board. You're not taking anyone else's spot. It's essentially your own little puzzle you're doing, your own thing. No one can mess you up. It's excellent. All they can do is take a card from you, attack something you're going to attack, to be expected. That
or
might
the
happen.
shared space at the top.
Yeah, there are shared, the green ones out there. I forgot what they're called.
King's Order?
King's Order,
Yeah,
that's
King's
it.
Orders.
Yeah.
That you can use and take from other people. So, but Paladins is a fantastic game. I highly recommend it. So obviously number 6, I'm definitely going to recommend it highly.
Number 6 for me is a game that has really nice production value. I think I bought it for you for your birthday. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember who bought it for who, but I'm pretty sure I bought it for you. And it was one of the first videos that we did in this channel. Not one that I'll point you to because
Sure, I'll point it. So, I've already pointed before.
I think that our new stuff is a lot better. Some of our production quality is really improved. So this game, Vindication, is the game. I think it's so pretty, and I think that the quality's so high. People are always impressed with it. There's so many cards. The way that everything, you can go so many different ways. There's strategies to go. I like the way that the tiles get unveiled when you're pulling up these hexagons from a bag and things are coming out, and you can take actions that are kind of all around you as you move around in a very unique way. There's expansions that we've played with that bring a lot to the table. There's a lot still unexplored for this game for us. There's so much that we haven't done yet with it, and I feel like it's always fun when we play. So Vindication's been a long while. Another one we haven't played in a long time. It does take up a lot of space as well. It is a bigger game for your board. It's not too crazy, but it is a big one. But the art is really nice, and there's lots of pets. There's pets. I love pets.
Endgame triggers.
Yeah, and the changing of what's going to determine what's going to end this game, and just you never really know how things are going to go when you draw a card and what's going to happen with it, and it's fun. You never know who's going to win.
Yeah, this is on my list of games to try.
Oh, we should
We
bust it
never
out.
played that.
No.
I was trying to
It's super
think.
fun to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So number 6 for me is Abyss. This is a Bruno Cathala game, and it is obviously it's in my top 10, so it's one of my favorite games.
Yes.
But I think that it is so aesthetically pleasing. Like, it's such a beautiful game. The artwork is great. I like that you're collecting pearls, you're collecting different colored cards with like fish and squid, and it's very thematic in that way. And you're also trying to get these lords, and each lord has different abilities that they give you. And so I like playing it. Like, I'm always asking them, like, can we play Abyss? Can we play Abyss? Because
And I just say, how about Aquatica?
yeah, and Abyss is way better than Aquatica. So, well, that's just my opinion. But anyway, yeah, so number 6 is Abyss for me.
That's a pretty game.
My number 6 is a table hog. No matter how many players that play it, it is a table hog. It is a beautiful production. Another Kickstarter can be delivering. All my games, I'm realizing, like, there's so much stuff coming out for my top 10 to just keep adding the love on.
Yeah.
It has to deal with little critters, and that is Everdell. Oh man, I love this tableau building game. I'm not a big fan of base game Everdell. I would never really want to play base game Everdell. I didn't find it that exciting. But with the expansions, especially Belfair and Spirecrest, those just make it sing for me. I love those mounts. I love the player abilities. I love the added, just all the added goodness that it brings to the game. I love Belfair is pretty much like a modular expansion anyway, and it just gives you so many different options on how to play it. Pearlbrook I can kind of give or take, but I do like Pearlbrook because you do get those monuments, and those are some big point swings that you can get there. So I'm super excited for the complete collection set that's coming out, and the new expansions for those. Adds a whole new board, so it's even going to take out more tables. I'm going to have to get like 2 tables and put them together just to play this game. But this is a very, very good game. Every time I play it, I love it, and I want to play it again. It's just set up and tear down takes so long and everything.
Yeah.
But it's so good. I really love this game. I think they're obviously with the complete collection after this Kickstarter fulfills, it'll be all done. So I'll be interested to see where it stays over the years. So yeah, Everdell is my number 6.
Awesome game. I still have to try it with Spire Quest or Spire. Quest. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got the different weather and everything. Oh, so
I gotta try with that. I've only done Belfer. All right, number 5. We're in the top 5, guys. This one is, I think, the only game on my list that I wouldn't recommend for everybody. Like the rest of my list, I'm like, yeah, everybody's got to try it, unless you're not into heavier games. And that goes without saying that I wouldn't recommend a heavy game. But this one, I don't think everyone's gonna like. It's my favorite card game of all time. It's the best card game of all time, in my opinion, and that is Race for the Galaxy. Race for the Galaxy, just the symbology might throw you off on this one. And it feels like sci-fi-ish, like might be not be up your alley. You might think, I don't want to learn all the symbology. Once you learn the symbology, which to me, isn't that bad. I learned it on an app. Like I played an app, it's like, oh, okay, I played a few games, I got it. It clicked for me, but maybe it doesn't with people that are like, really want to avoid symbology in games. Like this is too much. For me, I didn't feel that. It's my most played game also on my list because it is a card game. A lot of card games favor a lot of plays because I have the app too, so I would play it with people all the time. I just love this game. Sings for me. You can get it done really quick. It's basically affording 12 cards. You're playing cards out. You have to spend cards to play cards. You can do alien. You can shift your the way you're going to go in the game all the time. You feel that all the time too. You feel like, oh man, I'm not getting enough aliens, alien planets. I got to go a different direction. And then your strategy just totally shifts, and it's really enjoyable if you can pull out a win when you're shifting strategies mid-game. It plays best at 2. I actually don't like it at 4. It's a 2-player game for me only. I don't like it at 3. 2-player, strictly, card game, Race for the Galaxy. You're just getting... Once you have something going, your engine going, and you have a direction, it's so gratifying that you're putting out cards at cheaper value because you've done so many good things during that game that it gets better and better as you're playing it. And you just, every game is different too.
Yeah. I guess he won't play with us. He's good at 4.
No. Nah.
He might play with just you though, Andrew, if that opportunity ever arose, because he got too good at it. So I don't feel like I can compete now. Because he played so much of the app, and not that I'm sure that I'll play. If he wants to play it anytime, I'll play it. I just know that I don't know the game to the level he does with how he's chaining things off, and he can think so much.
So you just want to throw me to the wolves?
Yeah, so you should.
Hey, Andrew, come sit down. Let me smoke you in this game.
Humble yourself.
Get smoked in.
You still have a chance though. You still.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Vic has won the game.
I have. It's not like I never won. But I felt like, I don't know, I'm intimidated, I guess.
You have a disadvantage, but you can win this game.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that one.
It's like a motivational speaker.
Yeah,
I'm doing this. Do it, you guys.
You're a huge underdog. Right. You can do it if you set your mind to it.
And then when he's playing, he's like, eat it! I'm winning!
Just kidding, sucker.
You had no chance! You walked into my octagon!
All right.
So for my number 5 is another card game. I really like. We played a lot. We did not know the theme of the movies. We didn't watch the movie Dune, but we enjoyed Dune Imperium. I bought that as part of a Christmas gift for Nick, just randomly. It had good reviews. I didn't really care I like space though, so I personally was kind of imposing my space on him. Like, here's more space stuff.
Yeah.
But we play it. We really enjoy it. I love all the different combinations I can do, different routes to victory, and it's such a tight game. There's only 10 victory points. Every point really matters if you're trying to get these points. It's a great worker placement game, but there's also some deck building, and I have a lot of fun with deck building games and worker placement. I enjoy that. And I really enjoy the combat aspect of what's going to happen. Some of the intrigue cards people can play as a surprise, and you just really never know who's going to win until the very end, what's going to happen. And I enjoy the game a lot.
It's awesome.
All right, number 5 for me is Everdell.
Nice.
I love worker placement games. I love games with animals, and this is the perfect combination for me. I think that it is a beautiful game. I love when it's all set up on the table. Granted, it does take up a lot of space, but I love being able to, pick your own critters. Everybody's a different one. The pieces are awesome too. Just like, he did 3D print the little bulls. They look like little acorns, so it's cute. But yeah, I love the pieces. When it's all set up, you have this giant tree, and you can go for different, you can get points anywhere, basically. And I like games with that where the possibilities are endless. You're building your own little city, your own little animal city, and so that's cool. And you're, triggering all the different cards and trying to just build this incredible deck, basically. So I love Everdell, and
you love everything about it. Even Rugwort.
No.
The meme cards.
I don't like the meme cards. That stupid rat. I don't like him. But anyway, I'll set that aside because I guess they had to throw something mean into it.
I like using them.
Of course he does. Yeah. So and they're so cute. The artwork is nice. It's just their animals are cute and stuff. So
Nice.
Everdell.
All right, my number 5 used to be my number 1 a couple years ago, and this is by Dr. Reiner Knizia, and it is my favorite deck building game, and that is The Quest for Eldorado. This is, I love this game from the moment I had it. I love playing with the modular board, creating my own different maps. I love mashing it with the Golden Temples expansion, and even with the first expansion, the Hexes and Heroes. It's so great just to try to be so strategic about whether or not you want to block a certain area to make people kind of go around you while you're kind of building up your hand of cards, or then you have that mad dash. And every single time I've played this game, no matter what, I feel like it's always comes down to the wire somehow, somewhere. There's never a runaway person that gets to the temple, or And so I love it. I love when they added in the extra animals that are like your little helpers or whatever. And so every single time I play this game, I do try to make it as hard and as difficult as possible. I make it always so serpentine and crazy, but I love this game. It's great, and I love the theme. I really feel like I'm trouncing through the jungle to get to a golden city. So yeah, this is easily my favorite deck building game, my favorite Reiner Knizia game, The Quest for Eldorado.
You guys love raising games. So.
I do, yeah.
All right, number 4 is a game that I would say kind of got me in the hobby, at least farther into it. I had Pandemic, but it didn't really win me over as much as this one. So this one is Castles of Burgundy.
I knew it.
Yeah, Castles of Burgundy is just a classic, and it holds up. It's just so good. And you can get the updated edition. I have not tried the updated edition. I saw that I wasn't terribly impressed the way it looked. I'm fine with my other copy. It didn't luxify anything that I needed. But it does have a dry look, especially if you get the original copy, so be aware of that. But I've said in previous videos, that's okay. You can look as ugly as you want to be, as long as you play technically, like the way the game plays, as long as that's fun, I'm all aboard. You don't have to win me over with your art. That's fine. It helps. It would help. This could be a number 1. I'm just saying. But as it is, it's number 4. And it has been mentioned before, just not on this list yet.
Yeah. Nick's all about personality.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
I'm such a good person.
You are.
Right.
Really.
Number 4, Castles of
shallow.
Burgundy. I'm a good guy.
Number 4 for me, West Kingdom, the final of the 3 games. Paladins is number 4. We played a lot. We played it just the other day because we got the expansion. We were trying that out. Really like what the expansion adds. I like the additional things that you can work towards to get you points. And it always feels like a lot of decisions are meaningful right from the start of what card are you going to use. And now with the expansion, you're actually discarding a card out of the game, so you know you're never going to see that card again. And I like anytime we're playing it, you're building out, as Nick said, your own little board space. So you're doing your own little puzzle, and you're not really too concerned about what other people, but there is that interaction. There is some, enough for it to be a little spicy. So yeah, I like Paladins. Number 4.
All right, number 4 for me is Wingspan. I do enjoy this game. I like that they came out with different expansions that adds different things to it. Especially like one of the last things for adding the nectar. I thought that made the game a lot cooler. I won't go a lot into it because I know you already talked about it, but I really, when we first got this game, I was like, it's about birds.
This used to be your number 1 too.
Yeah, and I mean, I was not that impressed with the theme of it. I was like, oh, whatever. And I think it's cute, you have the little birdhouse that you throw the dice in and it comes out.
Yeah.
And like, just a very like fun, quick game to play. And I think we kind of make a joke of it too with all the different birds because they'll have just ridiculous names. And one that looks like it's a duck, it's like a duck, but it looks like he's wearing like a Russian hat or something. And so we just kind of like make fun of the birds and like the different names they have and stuff. So yeah, Wingspan is number 4 for me.
And now they have the app where you can scan the card and it makes the bird sounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. My number 4 was actually kind of surprising. I was not expecting this to go that high, and I felt a little weird about it being super high, and that's Stupid Deaths. No, I'm just kidding.
Just so everyone knows, that's a terrible game.
No, it is my favorite solo game, and that's Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah.
That is, I was so surprised. I played this game so much. I did have the opportunity to play test it before it came out, and every time I play it, I fall in love with it. I felt weird about it being a 2021 game, being in my top 10 of all time. Yeah. But every single time it came out, I was like, I like that better. I like that better. I like that better. And it just kept going. And I think that's because, to me, I correlate it with another game, which we might hear about in a little bit. But it's Hadrian's Wall. I think it's so great. I love it. And it's so quick to set up. I'll play this solo all the time if I can. Mm-hmm. So I love it. Hadrian's Wall, my number 4.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing that.
Mm-hmm. I wish somebody would mention a game that I have written down so I can be really short. So nobody has mentioned this one either. My number 3 is one of my favorite 2-player games. If you play with more players, that's fine. It probably works just as well. But I love it at 2. I love it solo too. It's one of the few games I like to solo. It is Underwater Cities, Vladimir Suchy masterpiece. I can see maybe not being as infatuated with it after one play. But my second play, and this is the same with my number 2, my second play was so good, and every play since has been so phenomenal that I just can't leave it off this list. The card play here as well is so great. You have to plan out your cards to go with your actions on the board. So it takes a ton of consideration. And it has kind of a card draft. I mean, you're not giving cards to other people necessarily, so it's not necessarily a draft in that fashion. But you're getting a lot of cards. So at different production phases, you're getting 3 more cards from a different age. The game progresses with you, unlike a game like Terraforming Mars, where you get a bunch of cards you don't really need at a certain time of game. This one, you actually like what you're getting. It's going to level 2, level 3. It's progressing with you, unlike Terraforming Mars. It's not. So these 2 games get compared, and I think Underwater Cities, hands down, is the better game. But I can see maybe if you just play it one time and maybe set it aside. But give it another chance if you haven't, if you're one of those people, because I think the game really does an excellent, amazing job, and at 2 players especially, or solo. So Underwater Cities.
Number 3, Underwater Cities.
I didn't know.
Wow.
I didn't know this would make your top 100 because it grew on you that much.
Yeah.
So Vic is a witness.
Yeah, I didn't like
She
it at
is
first
what I'm talking about.
that much. We played it. I thought, okay, then this game's all right, I guess. And then once I actually was putting Terraforming Mars ahead of this. When he asked me when we reviewed it, I picked Terraforming Mars over this. But now after playing it and seeing what Nick really enjoyed about it, when we play it just makes sense. It makes more sense than Terraforming Mars because of the timing of the cards and the way you use those cards to do actions. I really like that aspect of the color of the cards.
The decision space is so much better.
So much, and those little bubbles are fun. And now with the little bubble cities, when you make the symbiotic
okay.
and
the domes, I
yeah,
gotcha.
the domes. I like putting the domes down, and that there's only a certain supply of the red ones, so I try to snag them all up before he can get the symbiotic ones. And it's so fun when you do the production phases. Anyway, Nick said enough about this game. Check out our review. We really like it.
It's an old review.
Yeah, but maybe don't. Yeah, trust me, it's a good game. Number 3, Underwater Cities.
All right, number 3 for me is Chronicles of Crime.
Yeah.
I am a sucker for crime games. I sucker for crime documentaries, but I love this game. Like, I can't even. It has grown definitely over time. The different expansions that have came out, the 1400s, the 1900s, the 2400s. Like, I love the different eras and. Being able to use your app to scan and, really collaborate as a group on who you think the murderer is, like what happened and the storyline that goes along with it. I love that you can interact with the people, the suspects. It's not like it's just a card that's not going to talk back to you. But, like, I love that it's interactive. And I would not play this with more than 4 people. I think, and we've talked about that, just because, you're then passing around the phone and maybe some people aren't as into it. But I feel like if there's 4 people, that's a good amount. I
almost wouldn't play with more than 3.
Yeah, maybe not even more than 3.
But there is a way for you can like have 2 phones, and now they have where you can have 2 people with the phones, and they can both look at the screen.
Cool.
That's good.
Yeah. So that does help a little bit, but I agree. I wouldn't want to play it with more than a few people.
I mean, we'll play this like together, and it'll be like a fun, thing we can do as a couple, and just an easy game that is also very. I mean, there's different layers to it. There's one that we had to complete a puzzle, and so there are different, the different eras, different types, the way that you play the game, and you can intimidate people and beat them up and. Whatever, like depending on how you want to play the game. So Chronicles of Crime is number 3 for me.
Number 3 for me was really high when I first got it. Then it dropped because I didn't get to play it as much. But then this year it has really shot up. And that is Scythe. I really like this game. I finally got to play through Rise of Fenris this year. I had gotten it as a Christmas present, but I know it's not. I don't even think it made your top 50, so
no.
It's not something that she'll play a lot of, and it's such a big game. I don't really get it out to play solo, but I did get to play through it with some friends this year, and man, that expansion, I loved it. I loved the story. I loved everything about it, other than maybe like the end game was a little weird. At the very end of the campaign, I wish there was a little bit more to it, but I love that. Putting your pawn out there and taking that top action and building off of one another and trying to upgrade them and make them a little bit cheaper or more beneficial as you're moving these enlists and building those big, 3D mechs out there and you're going out and fighting and the area control. I really like Scythe. My number 3, very highly recommend it. It's a great game.
Nice. Vic just upgraded that for me, so I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, and you've been painting them, haven't you?
She upgraded it for me, so I'm excited. All right, number two. I mentioned just a second ago because it's a game that grew on me after a play, and that is Inish. It's my favorite combat game, my favorite dudes in the map game. At first, I didn't like it because of the combat. The combat wasn't clean to me. It was, you lose a dude or you lose a card. I didn't like that. I didn't feel like that was clicking right with me. That would hurt. I didn't want to do it. So once I got used to that, I realized how good this game is. And as far as what it's doing with so little. You have just these set cards, these season cards that you're drafting. They're season cards. That you're drafting between the players. And it's the same group of cards every time. You're going to eliminate one and it's going to go to the side. But the way that it's doing so much with so little there, I think it's just a masterpiece. It's beautiful. I cannot describe how much I like this game as a Dudes on a Map game. Because I'm not a big into Dudes on the Map. I have Lords of Hellas on this list. I love Sun Tzu. There's some Dudes on the Map games I do like. I like, I think Ankh's okay. I'll have to give it another play. But in Rising Sun, I like that. So there's other Dudes on the Map games that I do like, but this one just sings. It hits everything for me. I just cannot believe how great a Dudes on the Map game is. And Inish was one that definitely grew on me more than any game I've ever played ever. So Inish is my number 2.
All right. Number 2 for me is a game that everybody
Oh, here it is.
knows
Number 2.
that it was going to come out. I couldn't put it as number 1 because it was just really hard. I want to play this game every day. I want to play this game every single day.
And it's not your number 1? What game could you want to play more than every day?
We're gonna find out.
Multiple times a day.
Well, yeah,
We need to change our list now.
I have to play it with somebody, right? So there has to be a little compromise, so that factors into the scale, because, you can't go too crazy. I can't say Carpe Diem every time he asks me what do you want to play. I can't say that. That's crazy, right?
Well,
That's
you
crazy,
could say
but
that.
it's so fun.
I'm shocked
It's
that
what you want.
It's such a good game. It's so fun. Ugly as ever. Okay, not a pretty game. We got even the newer version of it. It was all sold out. It was hard to get the old one. We wanted to wait because we knew it was being reprinted. We played it for the first time on the Dice Tower cruise. Immediately just took to it. I really like the way that you're selecting the tiles that you're going to add to your city. I love the tile placement game. I love the rules that you're trying to score on the side, but you also are looking at the forum. I just enjoy the competition of the game. And there's chickens. I love chickens.
Look at you.
it's 2 references for chickens.
Chickens, right?
Yeah.
Chickens are great. I would love
Chickens and tile placing.
Yeah. So it's really fun. Carpe Diem, it's not talked about a lot. A lot of people don't mention it, but it is a gem. Really good.
Amazing.
All right. Number 2 for me is Cascadia. This is a fairly new game to us, and once again, tile placement, animals in their own, their habitat. You're trying to complete certain, like, where the animals want to be, do the salmon, a line of salmon, a group of bears, and I feel like it is just a very easy game to set up. And I know we've done a video on it that it's quick to play, easy to set up. And I know it's a game, like, if we want to play a game and it's later, like right before bed, like, that's something that we can pull out and we can play it together. So yeah, Cascadia is number 2 for me.
Right on.
All right. Well, that was another one we taught Nick and Vic and everything.
Yep, it's on our list as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. My number 2, this is you talked about a game that does a lot with a little bit with Inish, and this one does a lot with a little bit, in my opinion. And it's the only game from this, I believe it's the only game from this publisher, which is Sandcastle Games, and that is Res Arcana. This is a phenomenal game that you are doing so much with so little. You literally have a deck of just, I think it's like 8 or 10 cards, and you each have your own mage that has its own special ability, and you are getting these essences and using them to play these cards, and you're using the cards to make these abilities just to try and get to 10, well now 13 points if you have the Pearl expansion, and every expansion just adds more stuff, whether it be with the first expansion that added the demons and everything in it, and this one brings the pearls and the new places of power and everything. It's such a small game, but I feel like, you're always so worried about, if that dragon comes out and attacks you, or the different creatures, and the everything can score so well, and you have to, every single time you play it, you have a completely different engine, because you have a completely different set of cards, and there's so many cards in the game now, like, you're never going to have the same deck the same engine that you're building up twice, never, just because there's so many different varieties. And then you have to change your strategy every single game. Depending on what you're producing, you're taking essentially nothing and trying to turn it into something and making it hum. And I like being able to take those different pieces, of these random pieces that you get, and trying to create something out of them. And so with that game, I really like it. It's one that I hope they continue to bring out more content for. I love that they keep giving it more and more love, and I hope that there's more. And this just continues to climb, and that's my number 2, Res Arcana. Enough said.
Res Arcana is a good game. I think I liked the pearls added into the game. I think that made it even better. But
because of, like, points and everything.
More of a good thing.
Yeah.
That definitely fits for a game that does a lot with a little too. I can see that for sure. All right, it's the moment we've been waiting for.
Number 1.
Our favorite favorite game of all time. Number 1 for me I just mentioned, it's Scythe. Scythe is a game that she just upgraded. We can see where it goes. It's right here. It's number 1. It's the best. I love Scythe. There's something so gratifying about that game. We have not reviewed it, but on the download, that's the best. So the way you were
solid 6.5.
Oh my goodness, I cannot. This was a gift that I asked for, and then she painted it. So she bought these different buildings for these structures, and she painted it all. And I cannot wait to get to the table because it's going to look so much better, and it already looks phenomenal. So got rid of all the wood tokens. Now we got these awesome 3D printed stuff, and I can't wait. So every person that plays this game, if you have somebody good explaining it to you, it seems like everyone likes it. If you have somebody that really knows the game, that can explain it, really streamline it for you. If you get your top action and you're ready for the bottom, you can do that too. And people, it's a simple concept, but it works so great. I love Scythe. I love the planning aspect of getting to that point because I want that point every time. I want to make sure I can do both actions. Yeah, it's not going to happen every time. In that case, you want to set up for that to happen your next turn. And you want to get to that point as quickly as possible. You want to get to that point right away. You want to look at where you're at in the board. It's going to change every time because you're getting 2 different tiles, which is amazing. I love that. So it's you're not going to feel the same faction and the same tech at the bottom. I love that part of it. And you're going to get that feeling. You're going to look at your board if you're trying to win. You're going to look at your board, where you're at in the board, and you're going to see what can I do as quickly as possible as far as a bottom action. That's the way I play, and that's the way you probably should play if you don't. And as soon as you start hitting off both actions, the game is singing. And the combat is such a small part of it. If you're turned off by combat, you don't need it in this game. You don't. It really is a Euro that is amazing theme. I love alternate history. That is a super cool theme. The box art is super cool because of that theme. I'm not sure who the artist was. I have his art. It's a gentleman. I was going to say Beth Sobel, but that's like Viticulture and stuff. So anyway, great theme, great game, amazing Scythe. This is my number 1 game of all time.
Same.
Oh, okay. Sam.
Oh, okay.
Now, have you guys played this game with 7 players, or what's the highest player?
We played it with 5 as the most.
And it was,
I would love to play a 7-player game.
If everyone knows what they're doing?
yeah,
Yes.
only if people all know the game.
Right.
Because
Our 5-player one
it
was rough and it was online.
Rough, it was
Right.
online. I was glad that you could play it that way. Yeah, what Nick said, everything he said is true. Maximizing those actions is so gratifying. And when I saw those Etsy 3D printed factions, you can go get all 9 factions. Somebody has gone and made them unique to each culture. And I went and painted those over the past few months, casually put them together for us to play. And now I'm really looking forward to building on our gaming experience because the game itself is so fun. And I really like that now it's going to add this really cool stuff to it that just makes it so much better. So,
I'm going
number
to
1.
see it. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I just want to look at the pieces.
He's gonna be jealous.
Oh,
He's gonna be like, hey, Vic,
Vic, can you paint some for me?
I'll be right back. I'll be right back, guys.
All right, so my number 1 game of all time is Isle of Cats.
I knew it.
Yeah, he pretty much called it. But
Anything with animals, you know it's going to end up top 10.
yeah. I'm not a fan of Tetris really, but this game is kind of like Tetris, but it's with cats and that you're matching, the colors together. And I like that the cats are just different looking, like you got one that looks like an alien cat and you got the Oshax cats. And so, matching these different cats, having these lesson cards that you have to complete. I like that everybody's lessons cards are different. Right? So everybody's going to get points in different ways, but there is also negative points that you can get, and so that kind of balances it out, not being able to cover up your rats or whatever, and you got this boat, and so I like that. I just like the whole theme of it. Like, who thought of let's catch cats in baskets with fish that are like these super rare cats that we have to save off this island. So I love the theme. I think it's super cool. And yeah, I'm excited for the expansion.
Yeah, now you're going to have the kittens, yeah.
Yeah,
the
I'm
kittens
super
and beasts
excited
and
for
everything.
that.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Pumped.
Yeah. I think the theme is weird that there's this enemy ship that's taking over the world and they're starting with an island of cats.
Yeah.
This is where we need to go. To start world domination.
You guys should bring this one over because Vic hasn't played. I played it once.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think Vic wants
Really?
to play it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll have to play it for
It's
sure.
fun. I like it.
Yeah, and with the new stuff, you all have different shapes of boats and everything. I'm pretty excited about that. So
Yeah.
cool. All right, so that comes down to my number one, which is still my number one from last year, and that is Paladins of the West Kingdom. Shem Phillips has been all over our list, and that is because he is an amazing, him and S.J. McDonald, amazing designers. Miko are amazing. I love the worker placement. That's definitely one of my favorite mechanics in a game. And the idea, there's just so many options, and and all of them I think are you can win doing whatever strategy you want.
Yeah.
And so I love the different color workers that are primary to different areas. I love that each track builds off of each other. I need to move up my black to get blue, and then I need to use the blue to do this. And so you're really trying to balance all those tracks in order to kind of open up more and more opportunities. The expansion adds even more goodness. I love that. I did get the collector's box that adds the yellow workers, which are really cool. It's something small, but really neat. When you do get that yellow worker, you're just like, yes, this is so valuable. And so I really, really enjoy this game. The central board is getting ridiculously long for me, but that's just my opinion. But I'm just like, oh my goodness, how long could this get? But every single
It's
time
like, we need a bigger table.
yeah, I'm gonna have to get like a leaf that goes this way, even more. And so, this is easily my number one. I'm curious if Hadrian Wall is going to have any effect on this, just because to me, I think of them very similarly, where you have the different colored workers going to different areas and so many different options. And so I don't know where that struggle is going to end and who's going to end up where, but I really, really like Paladins, my number one.
At one point, when you introduced Hadrian's, you had mentioned maybe Hadrian's was better than Paladins.
Right.
So I didn't know
really
where that
thought
would fall.
that was going to be number one for you.
Hadrian's?
Hadrian's
Really?
Wall, yeah.
It is super good. They're both phenomenal games. I mean, literally anything. That company, that's so good.
Well,
no wrong.
We let's go over it. We did not meet our requirement there as far as our boldest.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? Were you thinking Paladins and Scythe? Is that what
So
you
I was thinking Paladins and Scythe. So yeah, I had guessed quite a few from your list. Actually, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of yours.
Okay.
I was but I thought it was gonna be Scythe, and I thought it was gonna be Paladins. It was gonna be in your top 3.
Gotcha. And I have questions for people. Vic did not have in our top 50 Raptor. Raptor did not make your list, Vic?
No, not really. It was really hard. Like this list. I don't know if it was just me, but I felt now when I hear these other games being brought up, like Everdell, I'm like, oh, Everdell, yeah.
Everdell, yeah, I have that
could
too.
have been in that list.
Everdell did not make
Castles of Burgundy. Let's continue this interrogation.
I
What
have
is
Castles of
wrong?
Burgundy.
But there's too many games because I didn't get. You guys did 100. You guys did 100, so I got stuck with 50, and then there just hard decisions had to be made.
Yeah.
And it was hard, and then going back and going, oh wait, changing the order of the list. It was really difficult, and I'm not saying that my list is not true.
Redo.
I would love the opportunity to redo this list in the future because there were some errors, and I'm going to say this.
Castles should be there.
Yeah, Castles should be there. It's been crossed off on multiple.
I had it written down.
I did too, and then I go, but I can't. I like this. I know I like this.
When you said Carpe Diem, I'm like, Castles is number one? Because like Scythe isn't under because I thought Castles was bigger.
it was
Had to be
hard,
there.
and everyone knew I had to put Carpe Diem, so there was expectation.
Yeah, I had it number 2.
There's no way that I could not have Carpe Diem on it since I always. But yeah, there's a lot of splaining to do on this one.
Let's see, what else? And it's not you. It's not real interrogating. I just want to see like, you didn't like it this much?
No,
or?
I did. It was an error, I think, that some of these were left off.
Well, there was one I was surprised that I don't think was on either of the lists, which is a newer game this year that you had, which was Furnace. I thought maybe that would show up on.
That was really hard to omit as well because it was another one that had to get pulled out of the of my 50. And
I can tell you where I rated it. Furnace.
Was it in your top 100 or was that outside?
126.
Oh, okay.
See, Furnace originally came out as 35 on this generator.
Things changed.
And then I had to start moving, and I'm like, that's not true. And Ganymede, 19. I'm like,
Look at this. Look at number 4. Just saying, we don't talk about it.
I know. And number 4 on this computer-generated thing was Carpe Diem. That's what Nick is pointing out.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what you said.
Wow.
Is it? Not? Carpe
Oh,
Diem.
I was looking for Castles. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, Castles was in here, and this
That is
Number
a
11.
really good game. We just played that.
We just played it the other night.
Which one?
Yeah, the other
Castles?
night.
Yeah.
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 And
Right at their house or something.
And I was like, man, like I should have put that up higher too.
Yeah.
So clean.
Because when you said it, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's so clean.
I know,
a good
and
game.
this is the thing. There are just so many games, and I'm not saying that I didn't do a perfect job, but yeah, I didn't do a perfect job, and it's okay.
Real quick.
Petition to the jury.
Well,
Andrew.
sometimes it's
Yes.
hard when you don't play a
Yes.
certain game for a while because
Yeah.
that's how it was for Castles of Burgundy, and I kept telling him, "Can we please play it? I want to play it." And then we'll play something new, you know,
Yeah.
and then we forget about it, and then we finally played it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I really do like this."
Yeah.
game."
Andrew, you were the hype man for this game. The Great Race, not your top 100.
No, it's not in my top 100, and that's I'm gonna just
101?
piggyback on. I don't actually know what
Sure. Oh, that's okay.
is
Don't
it
worry
on
about
here. I might be able to find it, but because I know I did go all the way up to like top 200 or something like that.
Okay.
But
No love.
it was definitely not a top 100 game. I did really like it. I wanted to champion it because I thought it deserved better attention than what it got. But it's not a top 100 game yet. That could change. Who knows? I don't want to give any guarantees out there.
Right.
But it is one that I think if you like racing games, it should be on there. And I know that we really like racing games. So
Right.
I just have one more for you.
Yeah.
Root. Root is not.
Root, no, that one. I think the reason why Root one, it's hard to get people to the table to play
100%.
it because you have to teach essentially 4 different games
Yes.
whenever you play it, and so it just fell. Like when we did play it, we liked it, but I mean, I felt like you could only ever play the cats or the birds if you played 2-player, and that was it. And so if I really wanted to play those other characters, and I don't know if you can factor those into 2 players or not, but then trying to get other people to play, it seems like nearly impossible. And we just don't have the group to play it. I actually ended up selling Root, and so yeah, it didn't hit me. I was always excited and I liked playing it, but the fact that I could never actually play it that much, it just never got
And the
that
different
high.
factions worked against our enjoyment of that game. I don't want to speak for him, but not knowing what was going on of other
I'm just going to do this.
factions.
Like, oh, okay. By
Can
virtue
you do
of.
that? Like,
I have to learn your game now, too.
Yeah,
Right.
so you not only do you have to learn what your role, your faction does, but you better know
Right.
what other people are doing because not that you're trying to rule police people, but you just
Like, we just have to assume, like,
wait
I
a second,
guess
are you
I'm
doing
dead.
that right? Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that's like some people really, if you like Root, you like really, really like it.
Yeah.
But then I feel like it's the opposite. Like it can be very polarizing. And I'm like, no.
And Sam, I'll include you, too. Viticulture, not top 50 for you? I thought you loved Viti.
No, I mean I do like viticulture. I
It's a
don't
worker
remember.
placement. That was like your favorite for the longest time. Worker
Yeah,
placement.
I mean, I
Fell
really
off.
liked it when we first played it. The first couple times, I was like, "Oh, I like it." Well, I like wine too, you know. But I thought it was a cool concept. But yeah, I think when it came to like worker placement, there were just more that were ahead of it.
I'll only do one more then. Because I have a couple, but Lost Ruins of Arnak stands out. You didn't have that in your top 50, or did you? Did I miss it?
Did I have that top 50?
I don't recall it being mentioned. I looked at the
I'm wondering.
Did you?
Lost Ruins of Arnak.
No, it was lower. It was 61.
Wow.
It was close,
Went
but it
down.
was 61.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious. That's all I had.
Yep. It's a good game though.
We'll have to have a conversation. No, I'm super glad to do this list. This is awesome. This is a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I've been anticipating doing this for a while.
I like lists in general, and I really want to see where it goes. I'm just curious to see what follows. Like I said at the beginning, I love lists. And yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us through these series of videos. If you have any comments, if you want to drop your top 10 games in the comment section, please do. Share with us if you disagree, if you feel like some of our games don't belong in the top 10 and you're really surprised, or you really love them and you're high on some of these games like we are. And if if you have upgraded any of your games, or what makes a game a top 10 for you, let us know in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.